What's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Mike Podcast. That's Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo, what up?
And we are back with a little bit of change in pace. We are going to dial it back and lay it down, bring y'all something easy today, and get into TV shows that are either new, renewed, or live in action. First of all, let me start off by asking, D-Lo, when you look for a great TV show, like something that's going to catch your attention right off the bat, what do you look for?
I would have to say like a good story. You know, you gotta have a good story, good background. You know, character development and all that. I don't know. It's just that is a really hard question because it's just something that I just know when I see it. You know.
Yeah. For me, it's like you have to give me a situation that is very like personable. Like it's not necessarily, when I say personable, I mean like something that like could happen to like me, or a situation that could happen, or you gotta start off right off the bat funny as hell for me.
See, I like that, but at the same time, like sometimes, and this is why I'm a big comic book person, is because it takes my mind away from the reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't like too many things that like could be like, oh, this could happen, you know, like like Final Destination type stuff. Like you're sitting there, you like some of that stuff is far fetched, but some of it's like I don't drive behind trucks to have vlogs on them no more.
Hey, and I heard that they coming out with a new one of those too. I can't wait. I'm addicted. I was addicted to that back in the day. But yeah, like there's all types of really good TV shows coming out or this just ended, and we are here to let you know about some of our favorites and some of the controversies and some of the good side of those shows. So just to let y'all know, this is a spoiler alert episode. So if you haven't seen these shows, we advise you not listen to the episode, or listen to the episode after you've watched these shows or these episodes that we are going to be discussing. Definitely. So D-Lo, how are you today? What's your number?
Oh man, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it at 8 today. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a rough week with DoorDash, and had some unfortunate circumstances with it.
You,
but I'm not gonna let that down. We here, we record. Let's get to it.
So what happened with DoorDash?
Oh well, so. For people that don't know how DoorDash works, so we go and pick up the order. No, we don't work for the restaurants or work for the companies that y'all trying to order from.
No, sir.
So
we individually contracted, apparently.
Falsely individually contracted.
That's what I said, apparently.
But so keep that in mind when you order. Please be respectful of the person's time, and please tip well.
Tip me them coins.
So what's been happening to me is I updated my app on Saturday morning, and that day I went out to DoorDash, and since then, up until yesterday, which was Tuesday, I've had to, every time I go to pick up, if it was a leave it at my door order and there was a sample picture, which they just started doing, the app would force close on me. So I had to call support after every delivery to get them to close it.
And that is time consuming. Yes. But on the other hand, for me, I didn't do the update. So my app has been working fine. And now I'm scared to do the update, even though there's been another update that's fixed the issue he was having. I'm still terrified that if I do the update, my app's gonna mess up. So I'm still not doing the update.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, after I updated mine last night, and I was like, thank you. It ran perfectly today. It ran like it was supposed to today.
Knock on wood.
You baby. Oh no.
Not that you knocked on your brain. But yeah, so you're at an 8.
Yeah, how's
even with all that craziness.
All that craziness. How you doing?
I am sitting on cloud 9. I'm on cloud 9. I can say I'm on cloud 9. I did some really good things today. I've moved some situations forward in the positive light, as far as inheriting my grandmother's house. We're one step closer. And I also had a good interview that I got the job. Clearly, I mean, look at me. Not just playing. But I got the job, so I will be starting soon. I went and did everything, drug test and all that. So I'm sitting at a 9. I'm on cloud 9.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully you can get in there too. Or do something.
We're gonna try. We're
gonna keep working hard at it. I got your back. All right, so let's get into it. All right, y'all. So welcome back, and we are going to dive right into it. So the 3 shows that we are going to be talking about on today's episode are Love is Blind, period, The Circle, On Around, and 911. Woo, 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 woo. So, D-Lo, what do you think about these shows? What is your vibes on everything?
All right, so first, let's just start off with The Circle. Let's start off easy.
We're gonna start off easy. That is the easiest of the ones.
So what you thinking about The Circle so far, man?
So for me, my con about it, if I could say, is Max. I do not like the AI bot.
I like the AI bot.
So if y'all don't know, this season of The Circle, or if you don't know what The Circle is a TV show that is based off of like a social media appearance. So all of these contestants are put into separate apartments within this apartment complex. They don't get to see each other. They don't get to talk to each other, but they get to speak with each other and text each other through social media text messages on this app called The Circle, which is on everyone's TV within the apartment. And it's kind of like they have these different challenges and they have to rate each other and these different games. And the people that are rated the highest get to be influencers, and they get to influence the game in some way, shape, or form, whether it's them eliminating people, them saving certain people, them having a perk or some type of something that is influenceable to the competition. And you're fighting to be in the top at the end so you can win $100,000. In the past, they didn't have this AI bot that they have this season. And the bot's name is Max, and he's a 26-year-old veterinarian intern. And I don't like it because, and the reason I tell you I don't like it is because what if he wins?
And see, that's what I'm kind of interested to see. What happens?
Nobody gets the money. Nobody gets the $100,000. It stays with The Circle.
Honestly, I think they may spread it out throughout the finalists, or they may give it to the runner-up.
Well, I don't want to find out. I need Max gone immediately.
See, I like the curveball because they don't know. I mean, and coming from Miles, who's supposed to be AI creator.
He's supposed to be a AI like main man.
Yeah, like you can't figure this out. Like,
so if y'all don't know, so these first couple of episodes, nobody's been eliminated yet until April 24th. Yeah. We find out if somebody's getting eliminated and who it is.
Yeah.
But Max, who's the AI, is not the one that's getting eliminated. He's not even on the radar as far as what we know. They were supposed to rate their other contestants based on who they thought was the most human, who they thought was the least human. And Max ranked in the middle. Because he uses everything he learned from past seasons to try to swindle these contestants into making them think that he is a human. And it's working. And I fucking hate it.
See, I like it because it just, I mean, and there's some things that he said, and there's some things I'm like, how y'all not catching this?
Right. Or somehow he responds when he hung up out of that chat.
Yeah, I was like, that's a dead giveaway.
That is a dead giveaway. He didn't have nothing to say, but he still didn't catch it. And he's like, oh, well,
he thought that he was lead him into something.
Yeah,
but it's like, no, that would raise suspicions with me.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all, so there are 10 contestants in The Circle right now, including Max. So I'm gonna give you a breakdown of these contestants. It's Max, who's the bot. It's Kyle, who came in as himself, But he's a pro baller, and he entered the chat as a trainer. Cassie or Casey? Cassie, she comes in as herself, and she's a little country girl from Kentucky. Come on, Kentucky.
Manchester, Kentucky.
Come on, Manchester. If y'all don't know, me and D-Lo are both from Kentucky, so that's like our hometown girl. Come on, girl. We don't know her for real, but that's my best friend. We have Brandon, who comes in as Olivia. So he's one of the catfish. And Olivia is actually a real person. She's a nurse, and she's one of Brandon's friends. Because Brandon's also a nurse. So we also have Corey Tyler, who is a gorgeous dancer and used to dance for the
Lakers.
Used to be a dancer for the Lakers basketball team. She comes in as herself, authentic. I don't think she can come in any other way, because that lady's just authentic. Yeah. Period. Yeah. She would be a dead giveaway for a catfish if she came in as a catfish. Lauren came in as herself, and she's like a gamer chick. Yeah. She like is gamer full-fledged all the way out from top to bottom. If you've seen her, you're like, yeah, girl, she games day in and day out. She lives on the computer. Caress, who comes in as Paul. Paul is her brother, who is a rapper. So that's our second catfish in the game. Yeah, I don't really care for Paul. I don't really care for Caress.
Yeah, I don't either.
But that's here nor there, and there's a reason for that. So it's not because of them as a person; it's just because of how they're playing the game. But we have Miles, who is an AI engineer. Yeah, and he comes in as himself because he thinks that he's just the shit. A big whiff, and you gonna sniff it, and he's just gonna smell like roses.
Thinks he's an F-boy.
Yeah. No, he doesn't think. He knows. He knows. He definitely knows. And he's got a thing for Corey. Yeah. He's got a thing for Corey Tyler because he's flirting hardcore with her. And then our last but not least, and I know that there's going to be others that come into the game, but we aren't talking about those because they haven't appeared to us yet. But Steffi. And she comes in as herself, and she's a psychic that does the zodiacs, and she likes to read people, and she comes in as herself. So how it's coming down now is everybody's suspicious of everybody pretty much. Kyle is being accused of being a catfish because of his pictures. Mm-hmm. He's abolitious, y'all. So him abs be popping, and they feel like this second picture that he put up, his abs wasn't so close, and they feel like he's conceited, so they think that he's a bot because it wasn't a closely taken picture of him. Who else? Brandon is not suspected as a catfish. Well, Olivia's not suspected as a catfish because she's kind of giving you homegirl vibes with the other girls. But Paul is being suspected. Mm-hmm. And that's by Lauren and Steffi. And Steffi is the biggest suspected.
Actually, and Miles too, because on that last one where he was and he thinks that he's the bot because he's not giving him nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Steffi is like the one that everybody thinks is a catfish because she's all into zodiac and she's only wants to read people and get to know people, and they are really like, oh my girl, and she's coming in as herself. I'm devastated. I need them to take Max out.
Yeah, well,
look, you like, well, I want him to stay around at least 4 more episodes.
Yeah, because I actually thought, I'm actually surprised that they actually brought it out as soon as they did, that there was a bot between them.
I know, because now everybody's heads is turning like, are you a bot? Are you a bot? Are you a bot? Yeah. And I'm just like, there's only one bot, but some of the people that y'all suspecting as bots are catfish. But Kyle he's himself, but he's kind of a catfish too because he's not coming in with his authentic job title.
Well, I mean, kind of.
You can say you a pro baller and you a trainer.
He's still playing ball.
He ain't training nobody. He ain't training nobody.
He might be helping train his teammates.
Whatever. I don't believe it.
But he might be training little kids. You never know.
So who's your favorite of this season? Who are you rooting to win?
I got right now, I'm thinking Kyle, Cassie, Corey. Those are my top 3 right now, just because they're the most authentic.
Okay. I think Cassie, Corey, and Lauren are my top 3. They're the most authentic to me. But I really like Steffi.
Lauren.
And I'm gonna put Steffi in there, even though she's like the one that everybody's like, get her out.
The only thing that bugs me about her is that she's only one-sided. Like she does the zodiac, she does the yoga, but she ain't really bonding with anybody.
But nobody's bonding with her. Every time somebody starts a conversation with her, it's got to do with zodiac.
Well, she brings it up though. So
because that's how she reads people. That's how she feels their energy.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
so just let her get through that, and then see how deep she goes.
Yeah, we go in between the lines of that. I mean, just start a conversation with somebody. It don't always have to be about the zodiac and the signs and all that, and the horoscopes. And that's the reason why they think that she's a bot, because she's doing these horoscopes. Like, where are you getting these horoscopes from? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But she's psychic. That's what it is. She's a psychic as well. So she kind of has that intuition, like, oh, I think this person is fake, or I think this person's a bot. And the people that she's calling out, they're spot on. Like, she didn't say she thought somebody was a bot. She did think she thought somebody was fake. And the person she called out to be fake is fake.
And honestly, Brandon, a.k.a. Olivia, I think he would have done better if he would have came in as himself.
I don't think so.
See, I do, because I don't think he's really... I mean, yeah, he has pulling people because they think so, but I think he would do better if he came in himself. Like, he's gonna end up slipping up, because there's some things that he's just like...
No, he's just... I mean, and I said that I don't think he's gonna slip up because he's a gay guy. So you could just be so feminine and just give them what you need, because you're already... And he sounds like a woman, so I mean... I love it.
Well, but he's not... But, I mean, that's one thing, but the
crying's gotta stop.
Like he said, like he wanted to be hot for a day, or he wanted to be hot for a time, and like that's a different persona when you taking on somebody that's hot.
Yeah, and you have insecurities about your own body. Yeah, I get that.
So he's gonna end up slipping up, but I would think he would have been even more accepted
if he would
just came in as himself, because we've seen in the past.
Yes.
That
oh, girl, I forgot her name from last season.
That was accepted.
But it wasn't at the same time, because she waited until she already came in as somebody fake.
But see,
and then try to flip the script.
Well, that's the thing though. She came in as somebody fake, and then she tried to just be honest. Like, see me, if I would have went on that show, I can't be nobody but myself.
I would have been fake as fuck. I would have been a whole woman that looked like Carmen Sandiego or somebody that's real sexy and cute, and I would have went in there. I would have won. And then I would have got to the final seat and be like, yeah, period. I'm not a cute woman. I'm a cute man guy. That's how I would have done it.
Now, the two in the past that's got me was the married couple that came in.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one was...
Trevor won.
Yeah, and so did his wife.
No, he didn't win.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he didn't. He tried. He made it to the finals.
Yeah, he made it to the finals.
But he didn't win.
But yeah, that was a good duo right there.
Yes, that was a good one. What was her name? Don.
Oh, I can't remember.
Starts with a D.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, but she was bomb. She was the best catfish there was.
Now, speaking of women playing men, Caress ain't doing that good. Like,
Caress, no.
Yeah, she's just trying to play too hard on the bro code and that stuff, and like
you not giving and like my thing is her rap wasn't even that good. So they had like games where they had to like rap it out and rap about another person, and his rap was not what it needed to be for him to be a rapper. But they were like, oh my god, that was cold. I'm like, girl, that was lukewarm at best. Like, that was not, no.
I was gonna say that was pool cold. Yeah.
It was frozen still. It hadn't even been out yet. But yeah, so that's what's going down so far. Right now, they are dropping episodes in order of 4. So the first 4 episodes are out, and then April 24th, 4 more episodes drop, and then on, I think it's May 6th, 4 more episodes drop. So they're dropping it in 4, so you don't get caught up or hung up on watching it all at once and binge watching it, and then been mad because you didn't get through the whole season and it's only the end
which
of April.
Which at the time when they're doing this, I'm kind of like, I wish they dropped the whole episode. And then I'm thinking about like we would have binge watched the whole thing.
Yeah, we would have watched it the first day and we would have talked about it 4 episodes.
But hopefully, with them moving to Atlanta, hopefully they'll start bringing out more.
That's
seasons.
another thing. I hope that it's like season after season. Like right now, this season's going. They've already started recording another season.
Because they should have been dropping seasons like Nick Cannon's babies.
Honey, when I tell you 10 or 11 already.
So but like I understand, like especially ever since COVID, that was in a different country. Different countries have their own like.
My thing was how they get all them Americans over there with their work visas to actually play over there. And then like when they were over there, they didn't have many foreign people on the show.
No, they didn't. Which I did see, like I think they have like the Circle Brazil or something like that.
They have a Circle Brazil, they have a Circle in another country too, and I'm like, so why did you start over there? Was it because the show came from over there? Because I know that Netflix gets a lot of their shows they start overseas. And if y'all didn't know, The Circle is a Netflix original series. I don't think we even told y'all that, but now you know. I think Love is Blind is another
it's another
Netflix series that we're going to get into in just a few minutes. But yeah, that's all I have on The Circle. That's my tea. That's how I feel about The Circle. I really hope that Steffi isn't eliminated, but I got a feeling she is the one that's going to be eliminated.
Well, one more thing too, because I know we were sitting there talking about how Miles is the F-boy and all that.
Yes, he is.
But honestly, I think if anybody's going to do it, I think Corey can change him.
I don't think that Corey's into him like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that she's playing the game.
Yeah, she's playing the game, but I mean, there's certain ways that she acts, like in like her.
I mean, she's single. She came in and was like, she already told you from the video that she wasn't feeling it like that. But she's gonna feel her oath while she's doing that. Somebody give her attention, baby, shaky seat.
But even with somebody like like Kyle, like she ain't acting like that. Every time he pops up on a message,
she gets giddy.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
So I don't know. It
could be her circle boo.
It could work
or whatever. I mean, maybe, but I just feel like Miles is too far gone. That like anybody that throws pennies at him, he's gonna try to catch him.
I don't know, because
I feel like if Lauren was to slide in them DMs, he would be on it.
We'll see. Because I mean, there's 2 more people that enter the circles
soon. We don't know when. But soon, hopefully it's next little crew. Yeah. But that means that people are getting eliminated.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But when we come back in just a second, we're gonna go into our second show. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback for us as far as The Circle, make sure you put it in the comments. Make sure you let us know how you feel in the comments. We love to read your feedback. Or if you have your own opinion based off of these characters or these people, because some are characters and some are people. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. But when we come back, we will dive into Love is Blind. So stay tuned. So welcome back, everybody, and now we are diving right into Love is Blind. And just to let y'all know, this is a disclaimer. Me and D-Lo are still friends after this debate, back and forth, banter, drag out, knock down, beat you the up boxing match over Love is Blind. So what are your thoughts on Love is Blind?
So, and like you said, because let's put things in perspective here, because my co-host over here has only seen this season. Me and my wife, we've been watching since season 1.
And
so
what about it?
there's some things about this season that I feel like Nick and
tread lightly, his wife kind of took things a little too far. And I think they did exactly what needed to have been done. But we're going to get into it in just a second.
So,
who was your favorite couple?
My favorite couple, Amy and Johnny.
Mine was Clay and AD. And I'm upset. But Why was Johnny and Amy your favorite?
Because they just clicked better. Like from day one, like they straight clicked. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't worried about anybody else's problems. They was worried about them. They focused on them. They wasn't worried about what each other looked like.
And they were like connected the entire time.
And so, like I said, they wasn't worried about what each other looked like. They ain't getting into none of that. They actually touched on some family things, personal things. They actually connected.
And they were the most successful couple out of all of them.
Yeah.
They ended up getting married.
And that tells you something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even in past seasons, it's the couples that actually connected like that are the ones that actually make it through.
My favorite couple, Clay and AD, made it all the way to the altar. And then Clay tells AD that he can't say yes because he just doesn't feel like he's ready or able to give her everything that she wants in a husband. Which, I mean, I understand, but at the same time, hold on, let me finish before we go back and forth. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, you led that lady all the way to the altar when you could have told her before y'all got to the altar all the times that y'all sat and talked, all the times that y'all spent the night with each other. Because y'all did spend time with each other without the parents and all those people. You could have let her know that then, instead of taking her all the way to the altar and embracing her in front of all those people. Just like Jimmy and Chelsea did. They broke it off beforehand. I'm not even gonna say Jeremy and Lauren because that was a whole craziness. We're gonna dive into that in a few minutes too. But what you have to say about AD?
So, it's on both of them. Okay,
I don't see both.
I did say that. I even told my wife when we was watching it, I don't like that he did make it down to the altar and then break it off because he had his reserves, and like he said, that wasn't like his reserves on himself wasn't the only issue. The other issue was financially. He didn't think that she could pull her weight. And with stuff that has came to light afterwards.
I ain't read about none of
that. Should have did your research, son.
But I mean, you brought it up so informed to people because I know a little bit about it.
Okay, so the whole thing is that after, because she played that whole, I'm hurt.
Who did?
AD.
About what?
The whole.
Oh, she was devastated. So, she said, I do. And he said, I do not.
Hold on. So things have came to light. So when I say the financial reasons is because after one of his groomsmen, actually I think it was his best man, came out and said that when he was talking about financial stuff, that she had a whole sugar daddy.
Okay.
Before and after the show.
Okay.
So my thing is you for the streets because you entertain the streets. I don't care. I don't. The
sugar daddy was paying them bills. He wasn't her husband.
No,
it wasn't her boyfriend.
You don't know what she was doing for that money.
Oh, she could have been doing anything for that money, but she don't have no husband. She don't have no boyfriend. Like she's not making him that thing. He's paying them bills.
At the time, you had a fiance.
That was her job.
No,
sugar daddy was her job.
That was not her job. She was entertaining them streets.
That sugar daddy was paying them bills. That was her job. She was working for that money that he was putting into her bank account. So that's the job.
No. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be engaged or going with somebody that has a whole sugar daddy.
But my thing is, she said I do, which means that she was ready to cut all that stuff off.
But she didn't. Because apparently, that's why he said because of financial reasons. I feel like they had to talk about it. And he brought that, and when she probably did tell him, he was like, that's got to cut. That's got to be cut. And she didn't do it. And that's why he said, because of financial reasons.
When did he say because of financial reasons? On a later interview?
No, he said that in...
at the altar?
At the altar.
I don't think he said that.
He did. Rewatch it. He said because he was like because I have my issues and also because of financial reasons.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch. But I was rooting for you, Clay and AD, and regardless of if she had a sugar daddy or not, which I don't feel like it should be a big deal because girls got to pay rent somehow. And if her job, and if what was she, real estate person?
Yeah.
Like if that job is so spread out and you only get a certain amount and then you gotta get another house. So if I mean somebody want to pay her
But
bills to
also,
go out
too,
on a date or to be arm candy, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been proposed to as far as having a sugar daddy, and like he didn't want nothing but for us to go out and him to be seen with me.
and that's true. But at the same
I'm
time,
gonna take you to dinner, and then I'm gonna give you $500 for going to dinner with me, and that's it. You ain't gotta kiss me, you ain't gotta go home with me or nothing.
And that's very well some of the cases.
And I'm gonna pick you up in a Tesla. Oh God!
But at the same time, I'm not gonna have my wife or my fiance.
But I'm sure she was ready to cut that out.
And entertain the streets.
But I'm sure she was ready to cut that out.
But that's what made me to believe that she didn't because of his reason at the altar saying financial reasons.
Okay, well he should have said that to her way before they got to the altar, because he already felt that way then. That's another show we gotta talk about, Wrexham.
Yeah. But so that's what I'm saying. Like and I feel like they did have that conversation, but she wasn't willing to let that go, and that's why. Because also too, his best man said that she has never sold a house, so she was struggling. So if you're struggling that bad as a real estate agent, then you might be looking for your backup plan instead of having a sugar daddy. If you're wanting to get involved with somebody,
she wanted a sugar husband.
And
he was like, "Yeah, it ain't gonna be over here. Goodbye and good night."
Because that's one thing. Some people are able to do that to where you can have to be the stay-at-home wife, and then the husband works, or vice versa. But most people like me, like it's a marriage is a team thing, and teams win championships.
But I will say, and we got to wrap up then and go to the next couple. At the reunion, they were in lighter spirits, and there was like a recording, like a video they did. It's like a social media live stream they did where they were like best friends.
Well, but also too, if you watch, there were some things that when he was being addressed to, she kind of did a little side eye to him. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's all the way cleared yet. But
I think that they have a good friendship, but as far as being in a relationship or married, I think that that's dead.
But I do commend Clay when they was asking him about it. He's like, I'm not dragging anybody through the mud.
But why is it that you're all team Clay?
Huh?
Because Clay has Clay has
and that's very well true. And honestly, at the beginning, I wasn't. But that's what made me that, and I kind of relate to him because before
that's what he is. He's a straight boy that's out here trying to do right in life, and he's trying to get on the come up.
Well, before I got married, and that was my mom's biggest thing, and she said that to my wife was, she was afraid that because of my parents, that I was afraid of commitment. And that's some real stuff. Like I was like with the way my parents end up divorcing, I was afraid of it. Like right. I was one of those people who's like, I'm never gonna get married. But as most of y'all know, because I've mentioned many times, that I am married and I'm happily married.
Come on, for love.
So it does take that right person to make you believe it. And like I said, like growing up, the two strongest marriages that I seen was my grandparents and my great grandparents. I've had it throughout my family. Because my aunt and my uncle, they're happily married and stuff like that. My personal upbringing with my parents wasn't really that great. So so like I said, it was something he could have worked on, definitely. Right. But with the other reasons, I think that also got in the way too.
So during the reunion, AD also said that she did go on a couple of dates with Matthew. She said Matthew was fine. She just couldn't get past how
robot he is.
Yeah. Which, that is exactly what I thought she was going to feel if she would have picked him.
Well, yeah, that, and you could have seen, speaking of Matthew, like he kept, at the beginning, the whole time, he was like, asking these girls these questions, and all of a sudden when they started asking, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you was gonna ask questions," and it walked out.
Yeah, and then he kept repeating the same thing to AD and
Amber.
Yeah, he kept repeating the same things to them, and that was also revealed in the reunion.
Yeah.
So now let's move over to one of the couples that were like the most controversial and had the most controversial seconds too, Jimmy and Chelsea. So Jimmy and Chelsea, they came together, but from the jump when they first met, you could tell that Jimmy was not feeling
that. No. You ain't no Megan Fox.
The hug over the shoulder and looking directly at the camera like, "Are you effing serious right now?" Had me dead.
I know.
I was hoping that he would not gonna let it linger, but he did, and I felt like he kind of started feeling love for her, but at the same time he was still out.
Well, that's the problem with issues of like, and that was my problem with, not to bring up the old stuff, but with what Clay was doing with AD, trying to see what they look like.
Yeah,
that ruins the experiment.
But she shouldn't have lied either and said that she looked like.
She should not have lied.
Megan Fox.
Yeah. She shouldn't have. But
and she looked like fucking Shrek and Fiona's stepchildren. I mean, she's not an ugly girl. Don't get me wrong.
No.
She. But in comparison, she was complete opposite of Megan Fox. And whoever told her she had a resemblance to Megan Fox needs to be slapped in the head, and maybe their eyes will go back straight.
I think Jessica looked way better.
And Clay, and not Clay, and Jimmy did too. Jimmy was definitely, when he saw that picture of Jessica, he was.
And that kind of threw me when she mentioned about her kid, and he just all of a sudden shut down.
I know.
Like that just as a man, that kind of threw me off.
I don't know though, because like as a man, like, and me getting into my straight mindset. As a man looking for a woman to marry, like, you have to think, am I willing to take on all of her burdens and all of her past, including but not limited to raising a kid that's not mine, but is already mature enough to know that they're not mine. So I'm never gonna have that full connection to that child. So am I in the place in my life where I'm ready to do that, or is it me wanting to start my own family and not have those additions? You know what I'm saying? So
well, I mean,
I see where you're coming from as far as being upset behind his reaction, because I was too upset, like, oh wow, you really gonna react like that? But at the same time, you got to take it from a perspective of like, okay, if I'm somebody that doesn't want to have a stepchild and I want to create my own legacy, then
it's not the fact that he didn't feel like he was willing to take care of somebody else's child. It was the fact that he kept saying, "Oh, you're my number one, and then all of a sudden when she dropped that bomb, he was just like, "I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna run over here to Miss Megan Fox over here."
But not immediately, because even after she dropped that bomb, it kind of took him back. But he was still right there. He lost interest in her when she reacted the way she did when he didn't say "I love you."
Well, yeah, but that was the issue with it, because like you can see it in his face, like when she brought up the kid, like he just literally shut down on everything he was saying.
His whole energy changed because he didn't expect that.
Yeah, and then she goes out of her way and gives him this heartfelt message, this letter that she wrote when she was younger.
Yeah,
and he just, like I said, pretty much
go
here to Miss Megan Fox over here.
Yeah.
And
well, she definitely made him eat SHIT when he saw her on Facebook.
Yeah.
And when he saw her in person. Even still, when they met at that little reunion spot by the lake, kind of was like, "You still my number one."
Yeah.
And I was gagged.
Yeah, that was that's my issue. Oh, now you see her, now she's still your number one.
And Chelsea, like, she has insecurity, like
big time.
Major insecurity issues, because the whole time she needed validation that he was constantly giving her, which in reality he wasn't feeling the validation that he was giving her. He was just giving it to her to give it to her.
Well, that, and also too, what got me was like in the pods he even said that he's not a person that goes out. But then he went to his friend's birthday party for like an hour, and then she was like, he was out all night. He was like,
the crying
like,
this season.
You told me you was a person that didn't go out and was like,
she was, but you didn't give me a kiss all day, girl.
That makes me so sad.
If you didn't get a kiss, go get you a kiss.
Every time she said that made her so sad. Like that right
Havoc
there.
does it the best. Havoc does it the best.
So does Tamara. Tamara, she does. Tamara
like,
does it
girl,
too. She cracks me up with it.
Girl.
It's just like,
but other than Jessica on Jimmy's side, Trevor on Chelsea's side. Let's get into it. But before, hold on. Let me rewind a little bit. So when Jessica finally saw Jimmy, she said that she didn't know how she could respond. It was kind of made her nervous, and she still felt the love that she had in the pod. She still felt that, and she still cared deeply for him. Do you think that they'll end up talking?
No.
Because him and Chelsea. Oh no, because Jessica and Chelsea are like this.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Jessica's daughter is like aunt and niece now.
That and he burnt that bridge when he saw her.
Yeah,
he said he just can't get past that. He can't.
Yeah.
He can't do it. So no, I don't think.
No, I'm talking about Jessica and Jimmy.
No.
Not Chelsea.
No. From the moment he shut down on her and didn't pick her and ran to Chelsea, that was a bridge burnt. He might as well dance in gasoline and just.
I thought they would have been cute though if they would have worked.
It probably would have worked. It probably would.
But I think that what would have been their downfall is when they met the parents, because I don't think Jimmy's parents would have liked Jessica very much.
No, I don't know. They probably would have.
So let's flip the script now. Now we can get into Trevor, since he was the bulk of the hate spewing that you felt was hate spewing, or the not hate spewing. He was the bulk of the issue that caused the host to have flack thrown at them. So,
okay.
You want to explain it to him?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, in earlier seasons...
Find the words.
So, this is the thing. And this is why it's an ongoing thing between the fans petitioning that they be not the host no more. Is because this happens every season. Not to the degree as this season.
I loved it.
But there's always like
Honey, they lit that flame and brought the receipts to throw in that bitch to light it up.
They just, for some reason, this season right here, like, and they had opportunities to do this in past seasons. Like, okay, so there's a show that my co-host watched. It's the Villain House or whatever it is.
House of Villains.
Yes. There's one person on there. His name is Shake.
Yes. He came from Love is Blind.
And I thought that he was more deserving of that shade and that fire being thrown on him than anybody in this, because he just did not opening at all for the process or anything. Like, he was straight womanizing, straight, I don't date my kind, I only date white chicks.
Well, maybe that's why they felt like this season they needed to be so hard.
But they should have done that from the beginning with him. Like, this right here,
they didn't know they could get away with it.
Oh, they knew. Trust me. And this is why,
if y'all can see his face, he is so frustrated right now.
And this is why, because I think
he's red.
I think it's too close to home for them. Like, what they have gone through for their marriage and their relationship is too close. So I think they're too close to it, that they just need to let some unbiased people host the show. It still can be your baby.
Yeah.
But I think you're too close to it. You're too emotional to it.
So, y'all, what happened was Trevor came out. They called Trevor out after they called everybody else out, including Sarah Ann, and we'll get to that lady in a minute. But they called everybody out, and then they called Trevor out because they had to address some issues with Trevor. What was the issue?
The issue was, apparently he had a...
this is where the Royal Rumble starts.
He had a... I don't want to say girlfriend. I don't want to say...
You can say that word, exactly.
It was somebody he was with.
His girlfriend.
Okay. And because apparently apparently they have broken up.
Apparently,
they still talked, and he went into the process. He said his heart was in it. So my thing is, okay, so that he had one text that he sent her before he went into the pod.
It was not one. It was many.
So
I got receipts, just like Nick Lachey. Just like the Lachey's, I brought my receipts.
But the thing is, okay, so he was willing to open up his heart to the process, and that's what he said.
That's what he said.
And he was in it for Chelsea.
That's what he said.
He was in it for Chelsea. You can see it.
That's what he said.
But then
that's what he portrayed. He's a good actor.
Stop that.
Don't roll your eyes at me.
Stop that.
But we have a difference of opinion, so I can say my piece too.
So, I think that if Chelsea would have picked him, that he wouldn't have went back to her. So apparently, when Chelsea didn't pick him, he left the show. And as soon as he got off the plane, he texted the person back and said, "I love you and I want to get married." I think that if Chelsea would have picked him, he would have never sent that message.
If Chelsea would have picked him and he would have said yes to Chelsea, he would have had a situation on his hands and he would have had to decide between the two. Because if a girl that you was dating before you went to that show was like, "Okay, babe, I'm gonna let you do this and I'm gonna wait for you," and then you text her back after the show and she says, "I miss you," you really think she's gonna give you up that easy if you pick another girl?
It's as simple as block number. I mean,
there's no as simple as block number because apparently they live in the same place. So if he would have brought Chelsea to his place, that girl would have popped up there. He would have had a Glenn Close fatal attraction on his hands, and he's the one that caused that.
Apparently, so did Jimmy.
Jimmy didn't have a Glenn Close fatal attraction.
Yeah, he did. He had a whole. It was supposed to be a woman living with him. That was a girlfriend.
But they didn't find out till after the tapings.
They didn't find out till after his taping, neither. Like that's when because they even brought up Jimmy.
But they didn't know that on the reunion.
Yeah, they did. Because they even brought it up. Yeah, they did. Or Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah,
so,
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy had somebody too. But they didn't.
No, Jeremy was married.
That's what I'm saying. Jeremy and living with them.
Yeah. And they brought that up too, but that's a whole. We not there yet.
But
we not there yet.
Well, no,
we on Trevor's end.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing.
We on Trevor's. Like, we can't. Trevor was dead wrong for what he did, and I understand why they gave him flack for it. Yeah, they could have stopped short on giving him flack, but at the same time, he deserved everything he got, and for him to come out there and to be called out, and then him to put his head down like he's a little puppy dog. No, like AD said, say it with your chest, bro. And we're not gonna go back to the AD situation because we've already made that clear. Yeah. But she was dead right when she said that. If they call you out on something and you know that you're in the wrong, don't put your head down and try to be all timid.
Well, there's nothing else he could have said.
He could have put his chest up and be like, "Yeah, that's the facts."
Well, and
the only person, but after.
At the same time, after he did. He said, "But I was still in it." He said, "My heart was still in it."
Your heart was still in it, but no, it wasn't at the same time.
But
because you knew you had a backup plan if it didn't work out.
We don't know what could have happened if Chelsea would have picked him. That's the thing. Everybody's so upset. Like they're so upset about. Well, he had this and he did this after the show.
Before and right after. The thing is, the whole lead up and the whole decline.
But that's the thing, though. Before and after had nothing to do with the show because
you had somebody that was sitting at home waiting for you. So that means that you might have said that y'all were on a break, but at the same time, that girl didn't seem like y'all was on a break. She seemed like y'all was in a relationship and you was going there to make that money, or you was going there to find yourself, or you were going there to become a famous icon or be seen on television. She didn't have the inkling that you were going to go there and you were going to find love because she didn't think that you were going to do it. If you telling her, "We going to go on a break and if I find somebody there, then it's going to be over. But if I don't, I'm going to come back and I'm going to marry you." Well, that girl was all in on you when you left.
Well, so she knew. That's the thing, though. He at least said, "If I find somebody on there, then it's over."
And it wasn't.
Because it wasn't over because he didn't find nothing.
It wasn't going to be for her because ain't no girl just going to sit back and wait on you, though. wait on you to find another chick.
Really?
She gonna have a problem when you get home. Because the whole text message afterwards was, I want to marry you, and then she goes, I miss you so much. Like, if she put out that message, I miss you so much, that means that, like, she has deep feelings for this man. And it's not just gonna go away because he found somebody else.
I feel like, because, like I said,
you should have made sure that it was over with that chick before you left, because you were just had her on pause. You had her on red, waiting to hear your response.
And this is my thing. This is why I say it shouldn't have got so much flack, because that's the if, ands, or buts. That's what if land. We don't know what would have happened if Chelsea would have picked him. We're just saying
it was dead wrong that situation happened. That's what I'm saying.
This could happen and this could happen. And that's all I'm saying is we don't know. And with him, that before and after the show had no concern of them. Now if she would have chose him and that stuff would have been the way it turned out, that could have been the issue. But before and after the show had no concern of the Lachey's.
Well, we're going to agree and disagree on the whole Trevor situation.
Yeah, we going to do that.
Yeah. Because I know y'all hear how pretty heated we get about talking about it. So we're going to move over into something that we're both going to agree on, which I think we will, is the Jeremy, Lauren, and Sarah Ann triangle.
That was the best.
So Jeremy and Sarah Ann hit it off in the pods from the jump. Also, Lauren kind of got in the mix and they hit it off. Jeremy and Lauren hit it off. So when it came down to it, Jeremy picked Lauren over Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann was like trying to figure out what she did wrong, what she could have done better. So she was like a pick-me girl is what they said in the show. And so afterwards, Jeremy and Lauren go home and they're living the engaged life, and Jeremy goes out to the bar and he ends up meeting up with Sarah Ann and staying out all night until 6 a.m. He had shared his location with Lauren, and Lauren had seen exactly where he was, and so when he came home, that's when everything broke out. And he lied about where he was, he lied about what he did, and then he finally came clean about it, and then the whole relationship just crumbled. Come to find out, Sarah Ann was texting him and saying that, like, if things don't work out with her, then I'm here. I'd like to give us a try, which for me was very disrespectful. She should have never messaged that man. If anything, if he would have messaged her, it'd been one thing, but she reached out to him. And she says, oh no, it wasn't like that. It was just so I could say my piece, and I wasn't trying to steal him from you. But in all reality, she pretty much stole Jeremy from Lauren.
So my thing on that is, okay, so she reached out to him. I don't see a problem with that. I do, but I don't. Now, I would see the bigger problem with that if he would have messaged back. But he didn't.
No, he didn't. He met her at the bar.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then they stayed out all night.
I'm not getting on that yet. I'm just saying, if he would have messaged her back, that would have been the problem about her messaging him. But just getting some things off your chest, whatever. You know, I can hit ignore on message and be done with it. And he did come clean and tell her, hey, this she did message me. So he did tell her up front that she messaged me. She got into her feelings on that and took it to a whole different level,
which was valid.
Now, but like I said, I would have showed her too. Like, look, I did not message, but he did like it. That was the issue. Don't like it. Don't do nothing. Just ignore it.
Give no fucks. Block that bitch. Why did she have your phone number?
But
period.
Well, she didn't text him. She messaged him on Instagram or something.
Why does she have your socials?
So, I mean, you can find any of them.
Yeah, and he should have blocked her, because I'm damn sure that he looked her up, and added her just like everybody else.
They all looked each other up.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Jimmy found out how Jessica looked like.
But with Jimmy's situation, somebody showed him, and then he went to her profile.
So the whole Lauren and Jeremy thing. Honestly, I looked at Lauren as the bully and an instigator sometimes. Like, she had her feelings. Like she put too much on his damn Hawaiian shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, "Oh no, you ain't wearing them. You ain't wearing them." Even her sister was like, "So you roll on that? Like, I'll take them." You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong. I mean, Jeremy had his faults too. They were some big faults.
A lot more faults than hers. Fuck, I hate you.
No, she was a bully at times too. So,
I don't think she was a bully. She might have been. What's the word I'm looking for?
Abrasive.
Not even abrasive. She might have been very nagging about certain things, but I think that most of the things that she like was very persistent and got like emotional about were valid. The other things like the Hawaiian shirts, like that's here nor there. Like, girl, I'm gonna wear this shirt regardless. And I think that's why he kind of like rubbed it in her face by wearing a Hawaiian shirt on the reunion.
But and then also too, the thing that most people didn't like also is the way the Lachey's handled that situation, because she had the post,
they ate her the fuck
and
up.
She made a post saying, for the entertainment we didn't miss, and then they bounced all over that.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time,
because at the same time you saying this is for entertainment, but so are y'all just playing around? Because this girl Lauren's not playing around. Like he met her entire family, her grandparents and everything, and now it's all of a sudden you leaving her for this girl.
But at the same time, there are some part of the shows that's for entertainment.
I was saying Lauren.
So why do you think that they showed her being villainized instead of showing the clip? Wait till the reunion to show the clip that how heartfelt she was to apologize to Lauren.
Because the heartfelt apology was only because she didn't want bad blood when it came down to them going to the reunion. She didn't want that she didn't want the negative connotation of her name being smudged through social media because of what she done. That's why she apologized and she tried to make it heartfelt. But all in all, honey, I was engaged to him. You stole him from me, and now you want remorse from me? No. Like, do you not see that I was all in? My family had all this. He met my family, my grandmother. Shit, she said he held my dog. Whatever the case may be, like, she was all in, and you didn't give them the chance to be all in because you messaged him and put your image back in his head. No, it's not all her fault. It's Jeremy's fault too. But at the same time, I'm Team Lauren. Because like she wouldn't wrote that message, if she wouldn't met him at that bar, and the thing is, even at the reunion, they were still together in a relationship. And then Chelsea was like, "Well, I've seen him a couple of times, and every time I see him, he says that they're not together. So y'all are on and off for what?
See,
when you had a woman that was all in for you."
My thing is, I'm not Team Nobody.
I was Team Lauren.
I'm not Team Nobody, and that goes with Clay,
in that situation,
and that goes with Clay, AD, any of them.
That beef, I was Team Lauren.
I'm not Team Nobody because
I feel like she was an authentic sweetheart.
I think everybody had their faults into that relationship, and I knew that relationship wasn't gonna work.
But I don't think her faults gave him the right to step out. It gave him the right to seek.
Well, I mean, no
attention
right,
from somebody else.
No right doesn't give anybody the right to step out. And that's why I said everybody has their faults, but at the same time, there was things.
And who's to say everybody has their faults?
There was things that she kept nagging and being abrasive about that. It just like, what was it? Like, there was a joke that they made when they was at the Paradise thing about the whole bean dip conversation, and then she took it to a whole nother level. And it just like blew up, and then that's all she focused on. Like, she just focused. Like, once she focused on one thing, she just blew up and nagged and nagged and nagged and nagged about it. And she just almost bullied him into submission.
See, and that's where she needed to grow. But
I don't think at that point. I don't think, like you said, with like the whole like Miles thing where you said he wasn't gonna change. He ain't gonna change. She wasn't gonna change. She is who she was. She is. Yeah, that's who she is. So that right there was not gonna work.
So he should have cut it off there instead of going to meeting with Sarah Ann and making this whole debacle more bigger than it is. If that was something that was a no deal for you, you should have let her know. Just like if AD's situation was a no deal for him, he should have let her know. Instead of breaking her heart at the altar, or instead of making Lauren feel like she was being cheated on by him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, there's different ways of being handled.
I get it. And like I said, that's why I'm team nobody, because everybody handled their situation completely wrong. And they should have been more of adults about it.
Right.
So that's why I said I'm not team anybody, because they all have their faults in it. And neither one of them was right for each other.
But on that note, the two that I did think was right for each other, and I'm so sad that they broke up, was Kenneth and Brittany.
Yeah,
I love that.
That was the other couple besides Amy and Johnny that I thought was going to make it, was Kenneth. But the thing was with Kenneth is he just let his outside world get. And I understand you're a principal. You had so much to get caught up on. Like, you had so many students get caught up on.
I wish she could have been a little more patient.
She just couldn't let that go, and it just, like,
I wish she would have stuck it out for at least another month of him, like until the wedding.
Yeah,
because I felt like he was gonna get caught up on everything that he was missing out on as far as his being there for his students and their parents and stuff. And then once it got down to like them needing to focus for real, he would have done that.
Yeah, because I mean, at the same time, like the way he talked about his kids and the way, that's the way you want a principal to be. Like, he seemed like he's good at his job,
and he's gonna make a great dad because of how he is like that.
And so I honestly think that they should have stuck it out.
But I love their relationship at the reunion.
They did, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the way I was saying, everybody could have been adults about it. They was the group. They were the adults about it.
And I think they were probably the youngest.
Yeah.
And they were the most adult about the whole entire thing.
How crazy that he's a principal, how young he is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the principals that I had, they were older.
Ancient.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the principals I had then are dead now.
Yeah, so, but like,
knock on wood that if they're still alive, they ain't about to grave.
But that's the thing though, like the way I say they should have been grown up about it. So the two ways to handle this situation, this show, on either you're gonna make it, was the Amy and Johnny. The way to break things off was to Kenneth and Brittany.
Yep.
Like, that's the two ways.
But then you wouldn't have all this juice in between.
Once again, what makes me irritated about them saying the entertainment, that's the entertainment.
Yeah.
So without that entertainment, they wouldn't have this show.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get so mad about her saying
yes, they could.
No, they couldn't.
Because that's what made the reunion hot.
Okay, well, that's the entertainment then.
Yes.
So without the entertainment,
they brought the entertainment to the reunion. So without what they brought up, without that, the entertainment would have been so bland.
But without everything being so juicy, because look, all the other seasons wasn't as juicy and as catty as this one, but it still was good. It still was good.
No, this I don't know about all the other seasons, but this is exactly, the reunions have to be that juicy. We have to dig deep, and the hosts have to really stir the pot, and they did that. But I really feel like they did it for the ratings, they got them.
I just think, especially the way, and we're gonna go back on the Trevor thing a little bit. Just bear with me. The way I think they did that, like, okay, let's be grown up about it. You say your piece, I say my piece, and then you can go by. Instead of them, she get her word in, he was trying to get his word in, but they wasn't accepting it. Then all of a sudden he was like, I just want to go. And then he's like, no, you're going to sit here while I scold you, and then bye.
And then you can leave. We're not done with you yet. Okay, now we are. Goodbye.
Yeah, that right there is child's play.
On Trevor's part too, because you You wanted your 15 minutes of fame while you were here, but now that you're getting called out on the bullshit that you caused, now you don't want to be here. No, baby, you gonna hear what everything we've got to say.
But
plus Chelsea's gonna say her piece, and then you can leave.
But Vanessa, that's her name.
Yeah.
Okay, I forget her name. But you shouldn't have had Vanessa say something and then look at him to say something, and then Nick look at him, and then Nick chime in. No, you both say your piece.
No,
he say his piece, and then bye.
No, you don't tag team them. You say what you gotta say. Let him respond. And if a question comes up that Nick has to say from what he said, then Nick's gonna say what he has to say. I think it went the way it needed to. I don't think, and I will agree with you on one thing. I don't think they had to grill him as long as they did. But I think that a lot of the stuff that they said was just a repeat of what they had been saying.
But I mean, and it's like I said, the whole entertainment factor thing. That's what the show. The people may be there for a right reason, and you can tell the ones that are there for the right reason. You can tell the ones that are there for the entertainment purposes. But they still had. If they knew about the stuff before, they should never let him on the show. Then,
yeah, I'm telling y'all, if our debate hasn't convinced you to watch this show, I don't know what else is going to convince you. Y'all have got to see Love is Blind. But that's all the time we have for episode 7, part 1. If y'all want to catch part 2, it will be out on Monday, where we go into detail on season 7 of 911. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo.
And we will catch you next time here on the Mike Podcast. That's Mixed in Chat.
Peace.